On Thursday, US President Joe Biden and US President Donald Trump will square off in the much-awaited presidential debate. This discussion, the first of two planned televised face-offs, might be crucial in the hotly fought presidential election. Here is everything you want on the debates, including when and where to watch them, the moderators, and what to anticipate. When do the debates take place? The first debate is slated to run on Thursday at 9 p.m. ET, 0100 GMT on Friday. It will differ significantly from conventional debate venues.
Climate change, and he didn't do a damn thing about it. He wants to undo all that I've done. The Paris.
CNN affiliates will be able to watch the event in addition to CNN. It will be broadcast on additional US networks and available on CNN.com for those without cable.
We got it down to $35 for insulin instead of $400. No more than $2,000.
The second presidential debate will take place on September 10th from a studio with no audience.
Ourselves in a situation where, number one, we have to make sure that we have a fair tax system.
The first discussion will be moderated by Jake Tapper and Dana Bash, anchors for CNN.
Us into World War III, and we're closer to World War III than anybody can imagine. President Xi of China, Kim Jong-un of North Korea, all of these, Putin.
The only two candidates that could debate on CNN were Biden and Trump. Being on enough state ballots to possibly win the presidency and scoring at least 15% in 4 different national surveys of probable or registered voters are among the requirements. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., an independent running for president, does not fit these requirements and will not take part. Similar rules will apply to ABC's debate. Contestants must appear on enough state ballots to acquire the 270 electoral votes needed to win and must score at least 15% in 4 different national surveys. What guidelines exist? Candidates will take the stage at identical podiums for the 90-minute discussion on Thursday. They will also be given pens, paper, and water bottles. They are not going to be permitted to utilize notes or props. CNN reports that moderators will employ every resource at their disposal to maintain order and foster a polite conversation, except the candidate who is given the floor. Trump will have the last say, decided by a coin flip, while Biden will be positioned on the right side of viewers' screens. There won't be a studio audience during the 2 commercial breaks, and campaign personnel won't be permitted to speak with the candidates. The guidelines for ABC's discussion have not yet been made public. Things to look out for: tens of millions of people watch the US presidential debates every year, and they have traditionally impacted the outcome of political contests. At 81 and 78 years old, respectively, Biden and Trump are the oldest presidential contenders ever.
Child care, elder care, making sure that we continue to support.
Audiences can examine their mental faculties and emotional stability.
We are the biggest producer of support for Israel of anyone in the world.
He said the only one who wants to keep going is Hamas.
While Trump's camp views Biden as prone to linguistic errors that could draw attention to worries about his age. While Trump's campaign intends to talk about immigration, Biden's team wants to concentrate on abortion. In the end, CNN moderators will determine the subjects: high food costs, difficulties with immigration, and continuing geopolitical crises like the battles between Russia and Ukraine and Israel and Hamas are likely topics of discussion. The discussion may also cover Trump's role in the Capitol attack on January 6, 2021, his attempts to rig the 2020 election, and his conviction on 34 criminal counts about a hush money scam. In a similar vein, Biden's son Hunter may face legal challenges. Who is going to be there? There will be campaign personnel available to talk with reporters in the spin room following the debate. While the president's guest list has not been verified by the Biden campaign, California Governor Gavin Newsom is anticipated to be present. Potential Republican vice presidential candidates, including North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum, U.S., Senators Marco Rubio and J.D. Vance, and other notable visitors are attending an Atlanta watch party being thrown by Trump's team. What took place the last time? Biden and Trump squared off again in the 2020 election. According to Nielsen Media Research, the first debate attracted over 73 million people, despite being characterized by tumultuous exchanges and interruptions. To provide each contender with undisturbed speaking time for the second debate, moderators instituted a rule that required them to quiet their microphones. However, because the contestants acted more politely, this precaution was not necessary. After Trump refused to take part in a virtual event and tested positive for COVID-19, a third debate was postponed. Is it correct? There are usually 3 presidential debates. However, this cycle's third debate has not yet been confirmed. Vice President Kamala Harris has agreed to participate in a vice presidential debate that CBS News is hosting. The debate is slated to take place on July 23rd or August 13th. The 2024 presidential contest is expected to be dramatically different after the next debates between Joe Biden and Donald Trump. These debates, which will have a large audience and high stakes, will provide voters a vital chance to evaluate the candidates' temperaments, programs, and suitability to govern the country. As the contest for the White House intensifies, make sure not to miss these important occasions. Surprising results emerged from Tuesday's primary elections in Colorado, New York, South Carolina, and Utah, indicating substantial defeats for Democratic Party progressives and candidates favored by President Trump. Several important races came to surprising conclusions on one of the most thrilling nights of the main season. The following are the key conclusions drawn from the findings. 1. The squad takes a hit from Bowman's loss. Rep. Jamal Bowman, DNY, losing to Westchester County Executive George Latimer, was a significant blow to the Democratic Party's left flank. Bowman, a progressive squad member, was the subject of severe criticism and controversy, particularly because of his views on Israel. Bowman's votes against sending further help to Israel and his advocacy for an ongoing truce in Gaza were major points of contention for Latimer's campaign. Latimer chastised Bowman for his early remarks on sexual assault during the attack on October 7th, which he subsequently withdrew and expressed regret for. Bowman could not overcome the doubts and criticism of his constituency, even with the endorsements and backing of progressives. Other progressive senators who take strong positions on divisive topics like U.S. policy toward Israel should take note of his defeat. Since the squad's founding, this setback is the first time one of its members has lost a major test. The result might have an impact on how other progressive caucus members approach their campaigns, especially because Rep. Cori Bush, DMO, will be facing a tough primary in August. 2. A rough night for Trump's endorsed candidates. Although the support of former President Donald Trump has been a potent force in the GOP primary, Tuesday's results exposed its limitations. Numerous candidates who received Trump's endorsements lost their individual contests, suggesting that the former president's influence inside the party may face obstacles. Trump-backed preacher Mark Burns was barely beaten by nurse practitioner Sherry Biggs in the runoff for South Carolina's 3rd Congressional District. For Governor Henry McMaster, who had backed Biggs, this was also a victory. State GOP Chair Dave Williams, who was supported by Trump, lost his primary in Colorado's 5th Congressional District to Jeff Crank, who was backed by Republican leaders including House Speaker Mike Johnson, RLA. Williams' downfall was aided by his polarizing demeanor and earlier remarks. In Utah, more moderate contender Rep. John Curtis, Utah, defeated Trump-backed Riverton Mayor Trent Staggs in the Republican primary for the Senate seat being held by retiring Senator Mitt Romney, Utah. Although Trump's endorsement helped Gabe Evans win in Colorado's 8th district, Tuesday's overall results point to a possible decline in Trump's power and the fact that not every candidate he backs will win. 3. Boebert cruises towards triumph. After Rep. Ken Buck, Colorado, retired, Rep. Lauren Boebert, Colorado, who was well known for her divisive remarks and deeds, gained a safer route to re-election by challenging in the more reliably Republican 4th District of Colorado. Boebert prevailed in the tough primary despite allegations of carpetbagging and a continuing dispute about theatrical disturbances. The frontrunner in the special election to replace Buck's seat chose to run for the balance of the term rather than the entire term, which helped her chances of winning. Trump's support also made sure her name appeared first on the ballot. Boebert's win indicates that she is still popular with her supporters and that she will remain a significant player in Congress. 4. Success for AIPAC and other Israel-friendly organizations. The Latimer Bowman campaign benefited greatly from the substantial financial support of pro-Israel organizations such as the American Israel Public Affairs Committee, AIPAC. These organizations spent millions to oppose Bowman, making this the most costly House primary in American history. Pro-Israel money exceeded Bowman's spending by a ratio of 7-1. Bowman decried the impact of outside money in the contest and accused these groups of being involved in right-wing efforts to unseat him. Latimer, however, defended his fundraising strategy by highlighting his close links to the area and the backing of the community. Pro-Israel organizations have won a big triumph because of their readiness to engage in elections on behalf of their favorite candidates, as seen by their large spending. 5. The Democrats' intervention in Colorado primary is ineffective. The 3rd district of Colorado's GOP primary was not influenced by Democrats in the way that was intended. In an attempt to facilitate Adam Frisch's road to victory, Democrats entered the Republican primary and nominated election denier Ron Hanks over establishment-backed lawyer Jeff Hurd. Seeing Hanks as a less formidable opponent, Frisch's campaign and other Democrats ran advertisements supporting or disparaging Hurd. Hurd, nevertheless, easily secured the nomination, which made Frisch's battle more difficult. According to Cook Political Report, the contest is rated as lean Republican, meaning Democrats will have a more difficult time winning the seat. The Democratic Party's progressive wing and candidates who received Trump's endorsement faced formidable obstacles during Tuesday's primaries. The loss of Representative Jamal Bowman should serve as a lesson to progressives, and the failure of many candidates who embrace Trump suggests that his power inside the GOP may be limited. The conclusion of the Latimer-Bowman contest shows the considerable influence of pro-Israel groups on political decisions, and Lauren Boebert's victory illustrates her tenacity. Finally, Democratic meddling in Colorado's GOP primary highlights the dangers and unpredictabilities involved in attempting to sway the opponent party's selection process.